Are we good here? I believe we are. Oh, shit.
Hey, Jack.
And y'all already know what it is, what it was, what it gonna be like. This your big dog, DJ Big House, checking in this thing, broadcasting live from the playground, you know, with my dog, HB, Heartbeatz, you know what I'm talking about. And it's still, if you ain't got no heartbeat,
You ain't breathing.
you dead about it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that way. What be going on with it, fool?
Man, same thing, different day.
It's been a minute. We have not been around, but we've been
in the sandbox,
we've
man.
been in the sandbox playing, kicking shit. Goddamn.
Shout out to all the independent artists been jumping on all the deals that we've been having.
Real spill,
shout
man.
out to you for being smart. You feel me? Yeah.
Dig that, goddamn it. It's been moving and shaking, goddamn. It's been a lot going on in the world.
Facts.
Oh, good grief. We got a lot to catch up on, but I think we gonna save that for another day, because today the tables are turned and they are elevated at a rate that you will not understand, but you will understand by the time we get through with this. Today, we got a guest in the building. You feel me?
Right.
Some Mississippi brethren. You understand that? But just not the ordinary person. See, everybody like to know who the hot rapper is, who did that. Nobody really pays attention to the artist. I mean, to the manager or the producer per se, or the designer of the video. They're not really into
behind the scene.
They're behind the scene folk.
The producer even here.
You feel me? But see, when you got somebody that got a hand that extends across the board, like I can grab everything from when this shit started to where it's at, and goddamn really put a stamp on it in a very eloquent way. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about one of my partners who's been in the game for too many years. He has too many accolades. You understand that? And by the time you finish, your mouth gonna be pretty much on the ground. You understand that? My dog, Carlton Wade, is in the building.
Sir. Yes,
you dig that,
What's
sir?
happening?
What's good with it, Jack?
Man, same old soup, just reheated. Thanks for having me, gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity.
You dig, man. Now, I know too much, and I know it's going to be a lot of places where I'm going to want to go to, you know what I'm talking about. But give an introduction for yourself. Introduce to these folks out here, because, you know, we got a little different audience, and y'all need to be paying attention to this one, you know what I'm talking about.
Where do I start? You know, I don't know where to start.
Who is Carlton?
Yeah, well, Hattiesburg native, you know, straight from Hattiesburg, born and raised.
Dig that.
Southern Miss graduate, twice.
Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Southern Miss to the top. What else? Hip hop journalist. For a couple of years, I did it. Some people say I'm okay.
Yeah, you did.
You know, but that's it in a nutshell. You know.
So what we talking about here is like Source Magazine, XXL, Vibe, those type of top echelon magazines of hip hop. You know what I'm talking about? That have been. This is the cover story writer. You know, it's a thing to have stories in these magazines and places. You know what I'm talking about, and be a good writer. But if you writing that cover story, that means you at that apex. Whatever you talking about is very detailed out. Like, this is him. This is him, man.
Also, that's who wrote my bio.
Thanks.
You dig that? We got to get into that. So let's just start from the beginning, man. Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yeah.
What was that like coming up?
Hattiesburg was fun. You know, just slow, small town. You know, everybody pretty much knew everybody. You know, safe. I vividly remember going all over the country, and you see murders and this violence. And I would always say, you know, where I'm from, you know, they don't really kill like that. But, you know, they'll fight. You know, you'll get beat up. But you know, you go home, you live. But, you know, so it was nice. You know, of course we had a lot of fighting. But
right.
That's what kids do. But you know, other than that, but you know, real nice.
Times change.
Yeah, but now it's different. Now it's and so I can't say that as loudly as I used to could.
Right.
You know, like so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. But a piece of the system, you did. Yeah. So in this time we out here boxing and getting it together, man. We got you on the literary side. We got you into the books.
Charlie Braxton. You know, another
stop playing.
Yeah,
he's
man.
been mentioned a few times on this podcast.
I met Charlie when I was like 13 years old, and I used to want to be a rapper.
Wow.
And I met him at USM. They had like Earth Day. And, you know, I met him there, and I remember he took me back to his house, and the first music he played, because I loved hip hop. I was a hip hop head, you know. So first thing he played was The Last Poets.
Okay.
I think it was Niggas Are Scared of Revolution. Blew my mind. And I stayed under Charlie. But Charlie was, I remember when I was in high school, he was hanging out with my favorite rappers, you know. Some of the guys I like, but at the time, if you weren't from New York or L.A., they wasn't really just letting you write. So Charlie had to pretend that he was from New York, believe it or not. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so he wrote about basically New York artists. Now, I love New York rappers because I love hip-hop. I love the culture. But I'm from Mississippi. I'm from the South. So me seeing Charlie, I'm like, well, shoot, I want to do this for guys I like. So I went to seeing him and seeing his name in Pretty, come back, tell me I was with this guy this weekend. I was with this guy. I'm like, well, shoot, that's what I want to do for a living.
Right.
So I majored in journalism at USM, and I never knew I could write. I just wanted. He got free music. That was my big thing. I wanted free music. So back in the day, they send you music.
The whole pack.
They send it to you before they had artwork, anything. And
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted. So I majored in journalism pretty much for free music and to hang out with rappers.
Dig it.
And I would pitch stories to these magazines and of people that I wanted to read about. I remember reading them and. The vibes and the sources and they would just talk terribly about Southern rappers, especially the source. And it's so hard if we would mention at all. So, I remember coming in and shoot, I would tell them stuff that they didn't know what was happening down south.
Right.
So, I was the only one at the time saying, let me write about Scarface. Let me write about,
they was all writing up north.
Yeah.
Probably
Those artists,
because that was like supposed to be the birthplace of hip hop. So whatever they say is the standard,
Yeah, of course. So, so I came in and I think I got lucky, the being able to write so many of these big cover stories because luck and a little bit of skill, a lot of begging. So
hustle.
Yeah,
a lot of hustle.
Yeah, a lot of hustle.
A
lot of self-motivation. I remember waking up in the morning, just going through my phone book, calling every editor at every magazine, bugging them daily. So, my first big article, my first big feature was the history of bounce music in New Orleans for the Source.
Wow.
And so,
what year is this?
94.
Oh, no, not that far. Probably 97.
97.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 97. And then when Cash Money signed that big $30 million deal, I remember being at a press junket. They would fly writers in from all over the country to when the new artist got signed and listen to the music. And I remember they flew us in to New Orleans to listen to 400 Degrees when they signed that big deal with Universal, Cash Money. These cats from New York and L.A. was looking like, is it good? And looking at me like, Carlton, this is good. Is this good music?
Really?
Yeah, because think about it now. Think about music prior to,
Okay.
It was a little different.
Yeah, they never heard the Trigger Man last week. We heard the Trigger Man.
Yeah.
We heard Brown's beat, but everywhere else they didn't know. So they were like, "Is this Carlton's good?" They never heard that accent. They've never heard that flow. They never heard this slang. And a lot of times the rappers, they didn't know what they were saying in the music.
Say that.
So I came along at a time to where, luckily, I could
depict it.
Yeah, that's the big college we're looking for, for the world to I don't know, to understand it, to understand our culture, our language, our music, even though the rest of the world didn't get on the Southern music till the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Keep in mind, some of the first rap records were in the South as early as 80. I want to say.
Really?
80. I mean, think about Nucleus. Nucleus was, they were based out of New York, but the label was in Miami.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
What was that guy's name? Levy. Remember the movie, oh my goodness, the guy was singing and he died and the wives were trying to get the money and I forgot his name, but he was supposed to be some gangster white boy, and another guy named Henry Stone. I'm giving y'all a history lesson.
No,
Yeah,
this is what we here for too. At the same time.
So, but anyway, so my point is, a lot of the earliest rap records were in the South. And as a matter of fact, if you want to take it a little deeper, there's a guy by the name of Clarence Reed. You probably never heard. Y'all ever heard of Clarence Reed? Okay. He went by the name of Blowfly.
Blowfly. Okay, yeah.
But Clarence Reed was a genius because Blowfly was his alter ego. Mm-hmm. Clarence Reed was the polished guy. But anyway, he wrote a song called Rap Dirty that he said he recorded in the 50s and it was released in the 60s. Most Blowfly, Master Blast, you know what I mean? So that was before Sugar Hill Gang. That was before, New York hip hop.
Right.
You'd say that.
A guy from, I think it was from rural Georgia somewhere, some small town in Georgia, and he left Georgia because he wanted to be a singer. He was that guy. That song, Betty. I'm Betty Wright. The producer happened to look through the pages of my notebook and he found these words. What's the name? Tonight is the night. Mm-hmm, he wrote that.
Really?
He was a nasty old man. So let me get that rocking chair. Rocking, they just said, think about the words. What a rocking chair is. It's having sex. Betty Wright's song was the story about a girl having sex for the first time. A lot of his music that we heard was just very sexual and kind of nasty in nature. And Rap Dirty was him saying, "Okay, I'm gonna let it all hang out." Mm-hmm. A blowfly is a fly that lays eggs on.
Yeah. So it lands. Yeah.
Boo boo. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how we got here, but I rambled. So so yeah.
So we got You changing these stories up and stuff. So when did you kind of like come out of that space where I don't really have to? I mean, I can talk about these Southern artists. Like, what was that first article?
It was a lot of first. I mean, because when I was still in college, I started writing at Rap Sheet. Okay. And Rap Sheet was out of L.A. and they would give
Wasn't that like one of the first magazines, quote unquote, or something like that? Yeah. Okay, did.
What, like a hip hop magazine?
Yeah. First hip hop, one of the first hip hop magazines.
It looked like a newspaper.
Yes, straight like that.
Yeah, and they were out of L.A. and Charlie hooked me up with them. I wrote a little story on the Dayton family.
Indeed, shout out.
A album review on the Dayton family. And the editor was like, this guy can really write. I was like, man, I just know how to cuss. That's all it was. I can write some cuss words, but they let me write more and more and more. And all the Southern stuff, nobody wanted to do it. They gave it to me, and I was happy to do it. Yeah. I'm in college, man, and I don't know if y'all remember this group called PA. Parental Advisory.
Yes.
KP was in the group, believe it, from
in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, in Atlanta. So I met them guys, hanging out with them, and I brought them up because them were some of the early ones that nobody wanted to deal with. Mm-hmm. But I would. I think about it now. I'm in college Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm in the Gentleman's Club, or the Blue Flame, hanging with rappers, or I'm in Houston with Scarface.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Then I got to come back to class, Tuesday, because I had my class on Tuesday, Thursday.
Did anybody while you were in college, did they know this was actually going on?
Very few people.
Okay. I want because I think this is of course it's a different time. I'm talking about. Hey, we like you came back. That's a lot of fanfare. Like you go out one weekend, you out with Chameleon or somebody, and you come right back, and be like, yeah, I was with Chameleon or whatever. Like if they know you doing this type of level of writing.
No, because keep in mind, nobody. I mean, of course, we love the music, but to us, it was still local.
Mm-hmm.
So
say that, yeah.
Nobody really cared. At least I didn't think they. And then you don't know me, but like that. But I quit school for a few years. I quit college and came back. So when I came back, I wouldn't really just hang around campus people.
Okay,
so I stayed off campus. I got kicked out of school or whatever, and I went back and I was focused. So I'm not fooling with nobody. I mean to get these books, and, so, and that was it. So I don't know.
Just turned up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just so happened that from Rap Sheet, one of the editors from there he left and went to a bigger magazine, Rap Pages.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he took me with him. Keep in mind, I'm freelancing. So, you know, I was writing for Rap Sheet, Rap Pages, but Rap Pages is bigger.
Rap Pages, Rap Sheet.
Yeah, but Rap Pages.
You gotta think this is early hip hop.
Yeah,
so they trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so Rap Pages was huge. It was the source.
That was all the posters and everything came from.
Yeah, that was the source of the West Coast. And so, Rap Sheet didn't make it to New York, but Rap Pages did. And when Rap Pages was in New York, so was Carlton Wade. So they picked up, who's this Carlton Wade guy? Mm-hmm. And so that's when the source was like, you want to write for us? Do I? Shoot. So, I mean, I went years without having a job. You know, I was writing for Vibe, XXLs, The Source, King, Rap Sheet, Rap Pages, the Public Relations Departments of Universal, Asylum, Columbia. So I didn't have a job for years.
No, you had a job, but you ain't had no customers.
like you were doing freelance work.
I was doing freelance work, you know, because a cover story back then was like about $3,000, $3,500. If I get 2 of them a month, I'm straight. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember living here in Hattiesburg, and this guy, one of my partners, was like, man, they watching you. They watching me, and Pauline, they say you got that work. Because I stayed right off Charles Avenue, you know, right off Hall Avenue. So I'm in the hood, and I sit on my porch and drink coffee every morning, and you know,
and right,
and they think you moving that shit.
They thought I had to work, you know, so because. You don't work, you know. You how do you get money? So my partner Friday told like, man, that fool, right? Look at my there go his name right here.
Real talk.
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, wow. So we get into New York. So all this freelance work is going on. You're dealing with all these rappers. How do you get into the bio side of this thing? Because I know you touched some big boys, and you got to. I'm gonna drop at least one. He handled Trick Daddy shit that was the first one I found out about, and I say, whoa, hold on, this is at the height going on.
I think it was 3 6 Mafia, because it's not the 3 6 that you think about today. 3 6 was almost like this is just me talking. They seem to have been treated like stepchildren to their label Relativity, if you ask me.
Okay.
Like they were getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah. I mean, who was else on Relativity? What?
Who was they with back then? Asylum? Or?
That was Relativity.
Relativity.
What, 3 6 Mafia was?
Yeah. That's they started their first deal.
Wasn't Tila and them on Relativity too?
I don't know. No, they were on when Tila left. I could be lying now.
When he left Suave House.
Didn't he go to Koch?
But I thought that was Relativity, though.
It
may be however the case, though.
Yeah, so...
no, Koch was E1.
Yeah.
The way they switched out, to it now. But yeah, going back in.
Yeah, but 3 6 Mafia was the first one because they were like, you understand his music, you know, you from the South. You write bios? Yeah. So at the time, no, I didn't know.
Didn't.
Yeah, y'all got some money. I'm gonna learn. So
yes, indeed.
That's how it happened.
That was now how you went through that process. You know what I'm talking about? Like freestyle. This your first ever bio that you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pull through this?
Did you look at other bios to see like what should draw people in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I try to do better than them.
Mm-hmm.
Dig it.
Got to.
So,
that's kind of like how I learned how to make beats. I'd pull up other beats and I actually would try to recreate them so I could see what they did to, you know what I'm saying? And then I learned my own way, you know. I had remade that murder kill shit. I had said it on another podcast. That's kind of like how I started making beats. Yeah.
Who's that?
Mac the Dog.
Mac. Yeah.
Murder, kill.
Yeah.
I ain't had no business listening to that song. 14 years old. And I was in the church. I remade the beat in the church.
Real spill.
No, I'm probably about 16 though.
Okay.
About 16.
Still a kid
You
making
real
murder, kill in the church.
Hey man, you got to love it.
Yeah.
Because we here now. Shit.
Mac with my dog, I ain't lying. I used to love that music.
So who are some of these folks that, you know what I'm talking about, you done knocked out bios and touched on?
Ooh, name somebody from the South. Name somebody. Trick Daddy, 3 6 Mafia. the half the No Limit, since we on No Limit, half they camp when they was with it escapes me, Interscope. Who else? Project, all the 3-6, Lil Jon,
Chameleon,
all of them,
Thug and them,
all the whole Houston movement.
You feel me? And this is the thing about it. You got plaques on top of that.
Yeah.
This man has plaques.
Damn. For what?
Doing PR for what I got? Lil Jon.
Damn. I ain't even know that.
Chameleon. I forget.
He got a shitload.
He the lowest count of plaque.
He got a
Come on,
shitload.
man.
But yeah, he's certified.
That's what's up, man.
You feel me? Like what is that doing these stories? Like what that really gives you? Because from the writer side, you don't really hear too many people like, shit, I want to do blogging or writing story. Like what really like holds you with this? With the actual writing aspect of this stuff, putting these words together.
Where I get it from?
Yeah,
I don't know. I swear, bro, I don't know. And it's crazy because I remember I was working at a magazine and this guy, he was a younger writer. I said Vernon Coleman. He's the weekend editor for XXLMag.com. Anyway, okay. So when he first started writing, and he came up to me, he was like, he started spitting stuff. And I'm like, man, that's dope, man. Who wrote that? He was like, you. So after it comes out, I do not remember it. I don't understand. I don't know where it comes from. I have no clue.
Man,
I have been in front of my computer, bro, just writing, just laughing. Where does that come from? I don't know where. I don't know.
That's a God-given talent.
Yeah,
straight up.
I have no clue. And people say I started at a blank page. I remember people used to ask me, well, how many words you got to write? And I'd probably be like 3,000. I don't know what. I gotta tighten it down to 3,000 because I have I don't know where. I don't know.
So did you pass all your English classes with
an A? My mama was an English teacher.
Oh yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah. So,
shout out, Mom.
Yeah. So so I couldn't. It was weird because my grandmother raised me, half my life, and my mama would give me, so I was go between my mother's house to where you got to speak correct English. You can't use the word ain't, blah, blah, blah. To my grandma stayed in the projects, Robinson Place. So I can't talk like, then I'm fat. So I was a fat kid. So I couldn't come outside talking like an English teacher's son.
They were going to run you through there.
I'm already fat. So I had to, I was code switching before I knew what code switching was.
Boy, what you say?
And sometimes you got to play stupid.
Yeah.
And I mastered that. So, yeah, man.
That's wide
cool,
open.
though.
Yeah, man. Cool. Real shit. So, going into this, it didn't stop. You started dibbling and dabbling into some movies, some documentary type stuff.
Yeah.
So speak on this real quick, because this is what kind of excites me about. People don't know he's a Southern historian at the same time with all this shit.
Yeah, well, I like to call myself a music. I mean, a historian in general because I love the history. Someone was saying the further you look back in history, the further you can look ahead in the future. And we see it every day. But what was the question?
But you hit a nerve though at the same time because you just said about old dude making that record back in the 50s, then popping out in the 60s, and it was a raunchy, wide open. What I'm talking about? Look where we at right now, in that same space. You know what I'm talking about? We had the raunchy space. We started in some raunchiness. If you want to, like you said, you dive back far enough. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? That's hard. But I had a brain fart.
The documentary.
Documentary. There we go.
I was in. I'll tell you how it came. I'll tell you where it came from. I was working at a magazine in Atlanta called Grip.
Shout out Grip.
Yeah, shout out Grip. Shout out Keith.
Okay.
I was over there too.
Now we getting into my time era.
Yeah.
My era. Yeah.
And one of the editors over there, and God rest his soul, but he was from California, and he would say, "Oh, it's just the South's turn." He said it all the time, and that kind of got under my skin a little bit. Because my thing was, it always been the South's turn. Y'all just catching up.
Hello.
Because I can remember, I don't know how far you take it back to MCADE, to Gigolo Tony, to, Nemesis. We've always had hip-hop. We've always had music, period. Okay. When you look at the history of music in this country, it started in the South. To be more specific, it started in Mississippi. To even
the
more
birthplace of America's music. Thank you.
Yeah, but not only the blues, which is in the Delta, but right here in Hattiesburg, the birthplace of rock and roll.
Damn.
Please elaborate on that, sir.
Rock and roll music started in Hattiesburg. Do your history. Look it up. Google it. You got a computer.
He asked me to say, keep talking about this.
Where was rock and roll? But anyway, it started in Hattiesburg. So, but for the documentary, I just wanted to show our story. But I didn't have no money. I had a little, but I didn't have no money.
Yeah.
So it just so happened I was in L.A. with Freeway Ricky Ross. He just got out of prison, and I had been out there for about a week or so, interviewing him for The Source about his life. And just two guys while I was out there. One guy was from Memphis, Jack Frost. He was what'd you find out?
They ain't talking right now. They showing Chuck Berry. Then they talking about Cleveland.
Did you type it
in Memphis,
Hattiesburg?
Yeah. Where was rock and roll born?
This type was rock and roll born in Hattiesburg.
I'll try that too.
But continuing.
But Frost. He's from Memphis, but he had a history in rap music. He was the first guy to put out. He and Kia Shine, as a matter of fact, had a label called Rap Hustlers.
Rap Hustlers, showed up. Shout out to my dog Kia.
Yeah, Kia and Frost, and
Keep push.
And he put out Yo Gotti first.
Mm-hmm.
He had Shank and Chrome. He had King Skinny Pimp. Anyway, that's not to give Frost. But anyway, I met Frost, and I gave him my idea. He was like, "I got you. I got the money." Just so happened, met another guy there. His name was Jake Berlingery. He was real tight with Freeway Ricky Ross, and they both said, "Okay, bro, we got the money." But the only thing that we had some money, and we had a love for this music, and we had a love for history, and that's all we had. So we didn't know anything about cameras. We didn't know anything about lighting. We didn't know about sound. We didn't know nothing. But we about to put our
it's going down.
So we gonna do it. So I went around the country, man, and interviewed a bunch of rappers from the South. It was called The Takeover. What you really know about the Dirty South. Mm-hmm. It's just a history of Southern hip hop, and I just wanted to get some of the bigger ones that I thought made an impact, and it needless to say, it flopped. It flopped miserably because, like I say, we didn't know what we were doing.
Mm-hmm. But still putting that body of work together. Who was all some of the people that was featured through it?
Name some people. Trick Daddy, Master P.
I wouldn't say it flopped then, because if you stick out those interviews, those are kind of priceless, man.
Well, I got them online right now.
You feel me?
Fiend, Pastor Troy, Mia Eggs, DJ Jubilee, Manny Fresh, Willie D, Scarface, boy. Paul Wall, Chameleon, ESG, Slim Thug, Lil Jon, DJ Paul, Juicy J, Project Pat. Name some people. Help me out.
Come on, man. The South is in the house.
Magnolia Shorty with Miss T. Rest in peace, Magnolia Shorty.
Yes.
Plies, Shouty Low. Rest in peace. Just a bunch of Pastor Troy. Did I say Pastor Troy?
You got any of the Mississippi artists? Like Banner?
Nah, I couldn't catch up with him.
I know it. That's why I asked.
I could not catch up with him. So, Banner be busy. So, I mean, I can respect it.
Not just Banner, but I'm saying like Mississippi artists, period. Like it's kind of hard. We don't really.
During that time, we was, but it definitely was strained but it was going on. Now it's yeah.
Let me explain myself, because a lot of people, when I was putting it together, asked me that question. You from Mississippi? Why you didn't put on Mississippi artists? Because, and I'm Mississippi, love where I'm from, but we have not had that kind of impact on hip hop as Memphis, as Miami, as Houston, as Dallas, as Atlanta. So it's almost like it would have been more of a vanity type thing. And this is before Big Crit blew up. You know what I mean? This is before Heartbeatz. You know what I mean? So,
but let me ask you this: is a few people that did blow up from Mississippi,
well, they got deals,
and they left and claimed somewhere else.
Rick Ross.
So wouldn't that cultivate like it put an impact on hip hop? You see what I'm saying? If we really got down to the nitty gritty of it, instead of where they're claiming they from.
But you know what? That goes back into the
interesting.
Yeah, that goes back into this is the birthplace.
Yeah.
Of American music, because if you want to say that, yeah, y'all from here now, y'all know there's no infrastructure, no nothing to handle that music here. You go to Miami, handle it out, you know, to my BIM. That's what you needed, but you was born here, the birthplace.
Because like that's like I was born in Oregon, but all my roots are here. See what I'm saying? Like my whole family, I don't even have blood family in Oregon. You see what I'm saying? So if somebody would I would represent Mississippi as my, no matter where I move to.
That's what I was going to ask you. Who would you rep? What place?
Mississippi. I would definitely tell them Mississippi. Like, you know, that's my style. That's where my sound come from.
And even though we do have shit jumping around the state, we don't have, like you say, we don't have that Dallas. We don't have that city here. Jackson is the closest thing, and that's not it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it definitely had been a epicenter of artists and you know what I'm talking about, to really take it up to that next level. But we, like you say, we haven't had that impact because everybody got to say we from Mississippi because we so far apart. You just can't say a town. Like if you say Jackson or Hattiesburg or the Coast or the Delta. That's pretty much your 4 sections. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about when somebody saying.
And then they're going to call everything else surrounding areas.
You feel me?
Hattiesburg and surrounding areas. Jackson and surrounding areas.
Thank you. You feel me? So it's a little different to say, yeah, we got. I'm from Mississippi, nigga. I ain't just from. I'm representing. I gotta represent the state because there's no home base here. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, I could be from Clayton County, even though they don't. But I'm just saying, I could be from Clayton and be like, yeah, I'm from Atlanta on the outskirts or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? I can be from way down John. Yeah, I'm from here because this is my epicenter. Right? This is that epicenter. So
people
you
don't be wanting to say they're from Mississippi for some reason.
Because think about it. I'm just shout out to Big Walk Dog way here. But just think about it. Just the average. If you just in general, this is just general thought. Just say I'm from Tutwiler, Mississippi. They gonna look at you crazy. Where the fuck is that? They gonna look at Walk Dog anyway like that. Where he didn't put it on the map though. But I'm just saying, from a little small dot. You know what I'm talking about? Can't nobody say that's one of the surrounding areas. You feel me?
But then Mississippi just as dangerous as all the rest of them states. Y'all glorifying because of their murder rate.
That don't make no sense, but it's still, it's still up in the state, and goddamn, you will catch one.
That makes the town the most popular. Huh? Whoever got the highest murder rate.
Man, that's awful.
Beyond awful.
Yeah. Whoever killed the most people, that's the town I like the most.
But dig that. So, but at the same time, we are in the digital space. So, goddamn, like you say, got all that. So you can get all these videos. You got them chopped up into pieces on YouTube or what?
Yeah, if you go to what's the name of the takeoverlosttapes.com. It's a YouTube channel. It's takeoverlosttapes.com.
Okay.
Please subscribe. I mean, I got a Willie D, and I'm just putting them up because the way the interviews are 12, 13 years old, and it's interesting to see for me how people have grayed since then, just to see their perspectives from that time. Really, and even the ones who are not here no more, you know. So just to look back at their lives. So it's a lot of artists on there. So also, since we're talking about video, I started one called thesugarshack.com. Since you asked,
okay.
But and because
that sounds like some yay with the yay. What the hell is going on in the Sugar Shack?
Yes, yeah, it's DASUGASHACK.com. And what it is, it's just interviews of Southern soul and blues artists. And the reason why I did it is because Southern soul reminds me of hip hop in the 90s down south. And I say that because, it's a lot of artists making a lot of noise, and it's only within a few states. Once you get certain past out the South, people never heard of Sir
Big
Charles
Pokey,
Jones, Big Pokey. You never heard TK Soul.
That's why they call it the chilling circuit.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money in it, and people
is.
go to one of these
them outside fields.
What?
Boy, it's going digital.
It's going down. So, and my thing was, it reminded me of these artists, these rappers back in the 90s, that we only heard their music. We didn't know their story. We didn't know their faces. We knew nothing. And it's sort of like the same thing with these other soul artists. So I just been interviewing a few of them, the ones I get my hands on, and let them tell their story. Thus far I got L.J. Eccles, O.B. Buchanan,
O.B.
Krishonda Eccles. I got more views on her than any of them. Who else I got? Stacey Adams out of Georgia, and Smoke. Quite a few of them. So I'm just getting them as they come, man. Just getting them.
Now, what got you over in that lane? Because you've been doing hip hop all this time, and then the swing over to a Southern soul. You feel?
I went to some parties.
Okay.
And I saw the ladies dancing, and I was like, whoa, this is. And then I think I kind of, I won't say outgrew. I don't love hip hop like I used to.
Well, it is definitely different than during those times.
Yeah, but even with that, not loving it like I used to, it's crazy because I always hear some music. I be like, that's I like that. I've called you before.
Fact.
And I'll be like, man, what that jamming, man? What is that? So
first things first.
Yeah, is that the name of the group?
That was the name of the song.
Is that what I like? Yeah. I had to hit you up, because I love this music. Right. I love this culture so much, but yeah, I guess I never just not truly love her. It's like, hip hop is almost like a slut. She let anybody do her.
Hello.
So, when I found somebody to do my old lady right, I'm going to have to call them up like, man, you did her right.
Right.
Real shit. Was swinging from that to teaching at the same time.
Yeah.
So how do we get into this?
Oh, wow. Everything's a story with me.
That's why we here.
With the documentary, no. Well, I started teaching. For some reason, people want to hear me yap, and a few colleges asked me to come and talk about either celebrity journalism or hip hop journalism or hip hop or whatever. So USM asked me to come and speak to them, and they paid me handsomely too, I may add. And so it was supposed to be like 45 minutes. Man, I ended up talking like almost 2 hours. They had to stop. And you think I'm just talking, but
yes,
you thought I was just rambling. But no, I didn't have anything set aside. They had mics in Stout Hall. Stout Hall sits like 250 people. So they had mics between the aisles. I just like, listen, I ain't got nothing written. Y'all got questions asked. And the kids just lined up one after, just in a line at these mics. Yes, asking me questions. So anyway, after I got done, after they stopped it, because the kids just had questions.
And you had the answers. So.
Yeah, I had the answers. Yeah, I like to talk. So after I got done, they were like, would you consider, coming to grad school? You be free. You get a job on campus.
That's crazy. Like walk on.
Yeah. So,
literally.
Yeah. So I said, sure. I thought about it. In the back of my mind, I always wanted a master's degree, but I hated school. I hated school. But so I said, okay, I'll do it. And while I was there, though, I started tutoring. My sister was still a school teacher, so she was like, look, you can get you $20 an hour tutoring these kids at the elementary school. So I'm tutoring the kids in English, and I'm like, man, this is fun because I'm a big old kid. I vividly remember running through the house. Yeah, running through the house with these kids. I was so embarrassed because my principal walked by. I got this sign on my head, and I'm just, So I enjoy myself, and I'm like, I could do this for a living. Yeah. My sister been telling me, you running from your calling. You supposed to be a teacher. I'm like, okay. So when I was in grad school, I got my teaching license and taught down on the coast, and man, I loved it, man. I think I told you before, I had the children and grandchildren of KKK members, and but this little girl, man, I probably should have screenshotted it. It's in my
that's crazy
in my inbox on Facebook. She found me, and she sent me a message like, Mr. Wade, you changed my total perspective on life. I had this little white boy come tell me, I told this story 100 times, Mr. Wade, I want you to meet my grandfather. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm flattered to meet your grandfather. Why? Because he's a Klan member. I'm like, man, why you want me to meet your grandfather?
Boy, I'm talking about, can you imagine being a teacher and a motherfucker? I want you to meet my daddy. Goddamn, he a Klan member.
And I said,
that's crazy that even happened.
Yeah, and I said, why? He said, you are everything my grandfather said black people are not. He don't think you exist. So
did you ever meet any of these people?
That's one of the wild.
Oh, no. I met one parent who wanted to murder me.
Right there on spot.
Yeah, because I'll tell you the story. The little girl, this little white girl, came to school half naked. A little bitty dress on, and I'm a grown man, and I slipped out of teacher role into parent role.
Right.
What you doing with that dress on? Before I knew it.
Yeah.
So she went and told her mama I said something inappropriate to her. So the mama come up to the school that got me in conference and telling me how I got my assault rifles in the truck. She got rebel flags on the truck or whatever, and so we at the conference, and the little girl said, Mr. Wade didn't say that. He didn't do anything wrong. I said it because he said he's leaving next year. That's my senior year, and I want him to be my English teacher. The mama was floored. This mama hate black people. This big black man, my daughter, want him to teach him. So, my class was an experience, man. And that's what I call it, an experience.
That's crazy.
I let them know, all these people were poor. I won't say all of them, but most of them, and my thing is we got more in common with poor white people than they got in common with rich white people. You know what I mean? So we it's a class thing, I think. But, because of Americanism, they've taught these poor white people that black people are the culprit, are the enemies. When in actuality, the greedy corporate, the 5% controlling us all and playing them as pawns. Think about it now. My biggest fear is the police. How much do they make a year? $35,000 a year. So if you're a police officer, you're poor. If you make $30,000 in Mississippi, come on now. I hate to say it, but you're poor.
That's what the salary is for police?
I think it's like $33,000, $35,000.
Good God.
I thought it was coming out the gate with like 26, 27.
Is it
that low?
Yeah.
I know in D.C. that was advertising for a Baltimore police officer for $50,000
gracious.
Yeah, I know. So you're poor.
They risking their life every day for like $1,500 every 2 weeks.
Yeah. But
no, not even that much.
Not even that. They'd be hyping
like $1,200 every 2 weeks, about $1,000 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit, they doing decent. 25 to 64,000 a year in Mississippi.
So the 64 on the high end.
On the high end.
Yeah, that's a
25,
detective.
Yeah, I know.
Head sergeant in charge. That's what that is. So, goddamn, I make 65 a year.
So they have the most.
Been doing this shit 40 years.
Yeah. So they're the most dangerous.
Face ass.
Hey, but shout out to y'all though, for whatever y'all do, the good shit.
Anyway,
so it's been going on, since the days of the slave catcher.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna give these poor white people, and some of you blacks who want to be white, we'll give you a badge, a little power, so we can say, well, you might be poor, your children might be dying from diseases, you might not have running water, indoor plumbing, but you're not a nigger, which makes you better than them. The most racist white people are the poorest. Think about it. You never hear a rich white man call you a nigga. He just want to give you a job.
Hello, talk about it. Stamp that. Put it on a shirt.
So it's always the powerless ones, you know.
That's crazy.
That's real talk.
When you think about it,
Yeah.
It'd be just like that.
Ain't no rich motherfucker.
Matter of fact, the rich motherfuckers that actually try to help you out.
Yeah.
You
The
get
rich
some money.
motherfuckers actually try to help you
I
out.
might not like you, but I can get some money off you. Well, shit, let's walk in here. Shit, I might walk out of here and be like, that motherfucker gets on my nerves. Boy, that bitch can make $1.
Yeah.
Shit.
But the white boy that live in a camper, and you may got a Lexus, he think he better than you.
Hello.
He might have to go bathe in the creek. At least I'm not a nigger.
And these are the people that was behind these kids.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I used to drive from Hattiesburg to the coast every day, and my students used to tell me, the white students, Mr. Wade, don't ever stop in social. Whatever you do, don't ever stop in social.
Ain't what's wrong with social.
Cause that's what them folks at.
Yeah, they said,
I mean, this has been known stuff for years.
don't
You know what I'm talking
stop
about? So yeah,
know.
that's one of them unwritten rules. This is another trauma of black folks at the same time, because you get told at an early age, hey man, don't stop through there.
I've
Don't-
heard
don't
that
pull
about
up over
Wiggins
there.
though.
Yeah, I heard it about Vida too. Vida, Texas. You ever heard of Vida, Texas?
Yes.
Leaving Houston. Don't you stop in Vida. No.
That ain't what's going. That's still sad at the same time, but it is what it is. We in 2022, and that's still prevalent.
Well, once again, the further you look back in history, the further you can look ahead. So, nothing's changed.
Dig that.
We still got the slave catchers,
Just by a different moniker. Yeah. Real spill, man. So goddamn, what we doing now? I'm talking about we done been everywhere. So like what's ever even challenging for you at this point? You know what I'm talking about from a literary standpoint.
What do you mean, like challenge? I mean,
like
From a
wanna write
literary
book.
standpoint,
I want to write a
what's
book.
next?
I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. I've been trying to write one for years, but
and I know structure and all that extra stuff.
That's just it. With a book, man, I'm gonna throw all that out the window. Like with a feature story, like let's say you write a news article, it's the lead, and you got a structure. With a feature story, it's a little looser.
Yeah.
With a book, you throw all of it out the window. You know what I mean? So the greatest ones have none. What's his name? Oh my goodness, he's a Mississippi writer. Oh my goodness, he wrote anyway.
Holla at Wayne.
A good
Wayne
one.
just wrote and published his book, so
Wayne.
he might be able to
The one that
tell you
was
where
up in here?
tell you where to start.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
it's a
I've
little
edited
term.
books though,
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah, he just writing his now.
Yeah.
Like what is it, like getting the story together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to think of this guy named still. Mississippi writer, but anyway.
That's another thing we need to stand on too. Mississippi is widespread, but we have had heavy hitters in all genres of this shit.
Oh yeah.
Here for hip hop, goddamn, out of all these years, and y'all don't even know it.
Well, I don't think it's just hip hop. I just think it's just popular. I'm just culture. I mean, literary. We come on now. We names of people from here. Like, well, I mean, Richard Wright, for example.
Okay.
My favorite writer from Mississippi. Back to teaching. I had my kids reading Between the World and Me, and it's a poem by. With teaching, I would do a whole month of nothing but Mississippi writers. That's
Dig.
Nothing. I think that a question you posed earlier. I think that we have had a black eye for so long, to where we tend to kind of hate ourselves. I remember being in New York, and I say,
boy, you keep going, but yes, sir.
The running joke was, country ass Carlton, your country ass. So even in Atlanta, your country ass, until I open my country ass mouth, and I, and I let them know, like, some of the greatest writers are from here. Some of the greatest musicians are from here. Some of the greatest gangsters, let's keep it real, Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover are from Mississippi. So
GVL,
you really
Roots
cannot,
Hill.
so you can't really this. I think when you have a better sense of pride. I remember somebody was telling me years ago, like, Carlton, you ain't got to tell everybody you from Mississippi all the time. Like, yes, I do. You know?
My ass, goddamn.
You damn. As soon as you open your country ass mouth, they're going to know where you from. Okay, well, we going to do that. We're going to let them know, you know. So,
Yeah.
I remember they used to do that to Jonathan. And make him like he from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin Jonathan Bender,
the biggest city next to you. You know what I'm
Jonathan
talking
Bender
about?
from New Orleans.
Yeah. You feel
They'll say, what now?
Jonathan Bender from
I don't know.
From New Orleans.
But he's not from New Orleans.
he from Picayune, Mississippi.
But they would tell him to say he from New Orleans.
Hey man, you know the same shit been going on for years.
And even if he don't
years.
say from New Orleans, they'll write that he's from New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonathan Bender from New Orleans. Yeah.
Damn that shit. For what y'all know, outside of everybody who's left in the past, everybody else is standing on Mississippi, and we standing on Mississippi. Goddamn, straight like that.
William Faulkner is his name.
William Faulkner.
Yeah.
Had to pull that.
I had to remember the writer, but you know,
That's ain't that the dude on Star Trek?
No,
Shatner.
you Shatner. Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, goddamn. Well, look, man, this has been it. You know what I'm talking about? Unbeknown to you at the same time, because I played in all these parts and shit like that. You have a tie-in at the same time. When I was doing my journalism shit, you know what I'm talking about? Looking around and not really just paying attention, but then when I found out that you was a writer and Charlie, you know, I knew Charlie was a writer off top, and he was like, wait, do da. And just looking at y'all work over the years, that was having an effect on me, how I was doing my little work for the magazine when I was doing my shit. Especially, like he said, Grip magazine. So he was that in there.
I remember that.
Running through that, I used to sit back and read those goddamn them articles that you would write through that. You know what I'm talking about? Just grabbing some kind of looking how the word structure, because you know I ain't never did no shit like that. No, you know, I just know how to put a little word together. And looking at that shit, man. So I want to say salute, man. Appreciate that, because that you definitely was a part of my growth in my journalism space. You know what I'm talking about?
Thank you,
real life, man.
Which was actually tool to all us down here, you know, for real.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Because he ain't just helped me, that Dub has helped every label on the coast in some type of way.
Even from you writing your bios and shit like that. I'm sitting there reading the bios, and somebody would ask me about it, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I got somebody for you, goddamn." He gonna make you seem like
likely.
Yeah, probably.
You gonna talk about what the hell you gonna talk about. By the time you read that, she gonna be like, "Damn, who the hell is this nigga?" Cause that's how I felt looking at my shit. Like,
That's how I was too.
damn,
Wow,
you know what I'm talking about?
So y'all
So,
making me blush.
I said, yeah, this nigga cold.
but real shit though. So like I say, appreciate that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Cause that shit was, and I wasn't paying attention, but I'm paying attention, and that really, you know, we look at retrospect. That was a big help in my.
So artists, if you need any bios written, holla at Carlton Wade.
We got it on deck. You know what I'm talking about? Man, give me some social media so they can tell. We gonna tag that shit down below. We got that. Give me some social media.
I'm not really, you know, active.
Give me some. So
You on the book?
Yeah, Facebook, Carlton Wade. You know, I got a black hat on. I think, yeah, Carlton. Instagram at the real Carlton Wade.
The real
you know?
Carlton Wade.
So I don't know, bro. You know, in retrospect, because it's 2022, people don't pick up magazines anymore. I rarely even tell people about, you know, my past life, even my present life.
But see, that's the thing. That's why shit like this is on. Anybody I know, real niggas that's doing this type of podcasting and shit, they pulling them folks like that, because these stories need to be told. You know what I'm talking about? Because goddamn, like you said, you further you look back at them, you can see where you're going. These people were instrument. You were the fucking instrument. My favorite, I just got to put it out there. Y'all know my affiliations is UGK for life. You know what I'm talking about? Long Live the Pimp. The last Source magazine that came out with UGK on the cover, he did that story.
Yeah.
Before Pimp passed.
I remember it was a large spread.
Yeah.
It was like a 9-page spread or something
Was
like
it?
that.
It was big.
It was a large spread. I remember
Wow.
that.
I remember doing it, and then I did when he passed away. I wrote that cover story for Pimp's passing too. Yeah.
It was a large spread. I just can't remember how many pages it was. But I remember.
Like I say, goddamn, he been putting it down for a while. You know what I'm talking
right
about?
here from the silk.
Right here from the silk,
It
man.
was fun, man. It was really fun.
Dig that. Goddamn, man. Appreciate you coming through here, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
We gonna get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, y'all go forward call to, you know what I'm talking about, go check out the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Check out some of them OG interviews and shit. We gonna put links down there.
All gonna be in the bio.
Yeah, we gonna put all that down there, man. Goddamn. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the big homie, big house. The fabulous Lou Vegas is in this motherfucker.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about? Holding me down, my dog HB, man. And we up out this thing already.